Welcome back, everybody. Come on in. And we want to share. I'm Denise, and I'm your Zoom host for this session. I'm so thrilled to be welcoming you to the last session of this full day summit from the Embodied Release, Restoration, and Renewal. And today we've had some wonderful presenters, and Maggie Hayes is coming up next. And we are so excited. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce you today to Maggie, a somatic practitioner and embodiment guide focused on nervous system and body-based practice. She's taken her training in personal practice over 10 years and created the Core Rising Method. It's a unique combination and flow of body-based techniques from the worlds of somatic healing, embodiment, yoga, breath, and experiential meditation. TCR method feeds Maggie's passion for connecting people to the wisdom of their bodies, because she believes that this connection to self is the foundation to collective healing and a new path forward. We'll put Maggie's connection to socials in the chat so that you have that. And over to you. Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I can't believe I'm here. I am so excited to be here. It's so exciting to see all of you. It's incredible that we had such a full day. Like I'm feeling so grateful. So thank you so much, Denise, for that intro. Yes, as she said, my name is Maggie. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. I am a somatic practitioner. I'm a coach, and as Denise referenced, my work really focuses on strengthening the nervous system through body-based practice. So thank you all for showing up for this last session of the summit. This is your body-based practice for emotional resiliency. And it's just so cool that you're all here. My biggest intention for today is to really just like co-create a space where we can all just have fun, right? Like it's the end of the summit, it's the end of the year. Let's just have some fun. Yeah. And just generally, like somatic and embodiment work, it gets really deep, right? It is real, it is meaningful. And sometimes you can dig into some challenging things. And maybe we're very used to things being challenging. Maybe we are very used to dealing with discomfort, right? Maybe we're very familiar with chaos and with our shadow. And I believe that in that, it is so easy to forget that such a big part of the overall healing process is really attuning to joy, right? To ease and really to just letting ourselves have fun. We are human and we have this whole spectrum of emotions available to us. It's really kind of like a crazy thing if you think about it. This whole spectrum of emotions that are available to us, and we can explore that. And that's really part of building resilience. So just an invitation to keep that in mind. Yeah, today and also beyond, that you are allowed to have fun. Yeah, you're allowed to feel good. It is a part of the work and you really deserve it. More than anything, you deserve it. So to begin, I would like to just get into a really short, simple practice. So I'm going to ask that you all turn to the chat. If it's turned on, Karen, I think it might be turned on. And I'm just going to ask you, how are you feeling right now? That's it. And see how specific you can practice being, right? So if you're feeling good, are you actually feeling grateful, excited? Are you relaxed, or are you content? Or maybe if you feel like you're feeling anxious or upset, within that, are you overwhelmed? Are you worried? Are you tired, right? Just kind of take a beat to notice and then drop that in. Let's see. Oh, empty, tired, inspired, rested, happy, content, curious, hopeful, tense muscles, angry gut, cool awareness. Thank you, Christy. Tired, peaceful, curious, relaxed, tired, content. I just ate, so I feel satisfied. We love that. We love some nourishment. Cool. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. All of the above. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, keep it coming. Amazing. Thank you so much. Okay. So we are going to start by practicing meeting how we feel and really start to bring our mind into union with the body, if you will, right? Because that's really the essence of somatic work, kind of using your conscious awareness to explore your emotional experience as it exists in the body. The mental, the physical, the emotional, it all comes together, right? And somatic work can really be that bridge. And then that intersection, if we look at it physiologically, we can consider it to be the nervous system. Yeah, your brain, your spinal cord, your sensory organs, mind, body. So let's start to explore taking however you're feeling today, right? Connected, alive, satisfied, tired, heavy, whatever's alive for you. You can just sit back and you can either close the eyes or you can keep them open and like softly resting on one point, but notice what feels safer, eyes closed or eyes softly open. And you're going to start to breathe slowly in and out through the nose. Letting the exhale just be a tad longer than your breath in. So really trying to get that exhale nice and streamlined out until it's complete. Noticing the weight of your body. Noticing even just the existence of your body. And however you're feeling today, excited, calm, pleasant, overwhelmed. Notice where you're holding that in your body. Where does your awareness kind of instinctively go to? And if it feels okay, can you rest a hand there? And if available, noticing the connection of your palm on the body. Keep breathing. And just acknowledge for yourself, I feel fill in the blank. Take this as an opportunity to really just be honest with yourself, to be honest with your body. Yeah, I feel XYZ. And let yourself really meet that. What does that mean for you sensationally to meet that? Do you feel any sensations or temperatures? Can you hold yourself as you feel that? Do you see any colors, shapes, objects? And can you just soothe, support, and really nurture yourself as you witness that? And just let yourself be there for a few more breaths. Good. If your palms are anywhere on the body, you can let the arms relax. Maybe sway side to side a little bit, move your spine around, stretch your neck out, maybe roll out your wrists. Good. Before slowly reorienting yourself to the screen. Mm, delicious. Okay, and we're going to take that into a physiological side, if there's any Huberman fans in here. So this can help us just to like discharge stress in general, and also any stress that could have come through in that last practice. So this is 2 inhales through the nose, a slow inhale in, and then 1 more sip of air. So it's, and then a heavy sigh out the mouth. And we're going to do just 3 rounds of that. I'll cue us through it. An invitation on the exhale to like really let yourself sink into it. Yeah. So to begin, let's exhale completely. And then slow inhale through the nose all the way to the top. Once you can't breathe in anymore, take in 1 more sip of air. And then exhale. Yeah, a couple more times. Inhale. When you're ready, 1 more sip at the top. And exhale, lean into it. Make any sounds, express. Last one. Inhale. 1 more sip. Exhale. Good. Breathe normally. Notice your body. Notice how you feel. Okay. How are we feeling? Can we get thumbs up, thumbs down? There's like little reactions I think we can use here, or you can actually do that. Yeah, that's cool too. A little more energized, beautiful. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get into why we're actually here. We are talking about emotional resiliency. Yay. And when I say emotional resiliency, what I really mean is nervous system resiliency. And I see this as different from regulation, right? Regulation allows us to feel calm, to feel settled, to feel balanced, and the capacity to regulate, right? To self-regulate, to co-regulate is a tool that serves this greater idea of resiliency. And resiliency really allows us to safely feel, process, and then ultimately resolve everything, right? So we never have to ignore or be afraid of how we feel. We can experience dysregulation and then guide ourselves back into regulation because we're human, right? We're going to get triggered. We're going to feel anxious. And sometimes we really need that energy from like a survival state to protect ourselves, right? So we don't want to bypass any experience, but rather we want to have the inner resources to be more aware of it, to be discerning of it, and to move through it. So we just aren't holding on to it anymore. And somatic work can strengthen these resources. So today we will be using movement and breathwork techniques that allow us to kind of work with the physiological aspects of the nervous system, and then somatic meditation techniques that do the same and also energetically help us relate to our emotions in maybe a new way. So for our practice today, you can do all of it seated. I will offer modifications, but if you have a mat or if you have like a comfortable practice space, that would be great. If you want to set that up, we're going to, if available, be seated. We're going to be on all fours. We will be standing. We're going to be all over the place in a way that's fun, right? Okay. So actually, any questions before we get going? I don't see any in the chat. So if anyone has any questions and they want to like raise their hands, maybe Denise, we could call on like 1 or 2 if anyone has any questions.
Oh, here we go. There's a couple coming in. How do we invite hidden feelings? Lois wants to know, how do we invite hidden feelings?
How do we invite hidden feelings? Great question. So I think a more definitive answer, I would have to know a little more context, but, and this is going to be a different approach from what we're doing today. Today we're going to be working with emotions that you're more aware of, but a way to potentially kind of unearth some of those hidden emotions can be going bottom up and starting to work with sensations in the body, right? So kind of getting to know your body a little bit more. If there's any part that's feeling tense, focusing your awareness there. And yeah, doing a little inquiry work to just kind of see what it's holding on to.
Okay.
Sorry if that's not super clear, but I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. Karen is asking, is this an energizing practice? Just being mindful of the time in UK, it's 9 p.m.
Yes, so great question. And no, it is pretty neutral. There are, let me go through this. Yeah, no, everything is, it's going to be like a combination of more passive and then others that are a little bit more dynamic, but nothing that's too taxing and nothing that's energizing. We will end in a balanced place. All right. So we did that practice just before, just like a minute ago, right? With how you're feeling today. So now we're going to do that again, but with a specific emotion that comes up for you often, a pattern, if you will. So you can start to reflect now on what that emotional pattern is for you, right? Maybe it's something that can feel a little challenging. We don't want anything that's totally overwhelming, but maybe just something that can feel like a little uncomfortable, a little sticky, that you experience amidst any daily stress. I know for me, let me think of an example. If I have a full day and I feel like someone is coming in and like interfering on my schedule, right? If someone's like messing up my schedule and kind of pulling me out of my routine, I can start to feel some of those like fight response emotions, right? I can start to get a little irritable. I can start to feel a little resentful. So that can be a little trigger for me. So you can take a moment to come up with what that is for you. And I want to say up front that we aren't singling out these emotions because they need to be fixed, because they need to be changed or released, right? But we just want to use the built-in resources that we have to give them some space. Yeah, to literally like relieve some of the pressure that they feel. So if we have that, whatever your emotional pattern is, we will go ahead and get started. So same deal as before. You can go ahead and sit yourself back. You can close the eyes or keep them softly open and just start to find your breath again. Just start to notice your body. Letting the breath be nice and streamlined in and out through your nose. Maybe as you notice the weight of your body. And now that pattern for you, that emotion that comes up a lot, right? Maybe irritability, anxiety, overwhelm. How does it feel in your body? Where do you feel it? Again, if you'd like, maybe resting your hand there. Noticing what sensations come through. And letting the rest of your body relax as you notice that. Taking a few breaths as we practice just meeting this energy, this emotional pattern that's being held in a particular space in your body. letting it be nurtured by your awareness, by your presence. And not diving into it so that we're overwhelmed, but just dipping a toe in. Yeah, sensing just enough so that we understand what we're holding. And then you can kind of let that awareness start to dissolve, maybe tuck that part away somewhere in your body. Just take a deep breath into your full body as you start to bring yourself back. Maybe through any movement, any stretching. Good. And now, maybe that felt accessible. Maybe that felt hard, right? It's all just information. It tells us the level of sensation that your nervous system is capable of feeling right now. And that's important information to have, right? And that's going to bring us into our full practice sequence. So I'm going to move to my mat just behind me. If you'd like to stay seated, you can, but you can come and join me in your own practice space. We are going to start seated. All right. And we're going to start very simply, just with a little self hug. So you're going to take your right hand, bring it over to your left ribs, left hand comes to the right shoulder. And you want to just gently apply some pressure here through your palms. And think about breathing wide, like inhaling so that you feel your torso widen, even like the most subtle bit. Applying that pressure through the palms. Inhaling into the sides of the body to get wider. And then exhaling to feel yourself like relax a little bit, almost as if you can relax into the new space that your inhale created. And then you can either stay here or option to bring your knees into your chest. Maybe hug your knees if that's accessible to you. You can also hug underneath your thighs if you don't have that hip mobility. And what you want to do here is think about really breathing into the belly so that you breathe into this sense of compression from the legs. You can even relax your head. If you can, bring your forehead to your knees. And stay with that intention of nurturing yourself, right? Let your breath be really nurturing here. Feeling the connection between the thighs and the front side of the body. And letting the whole back side of the body relax. Taking a few more breaths here and just really letting yourself like land in this stillness. Letting yourself maybe get heavier. Notice if there's any areas of the body that start to tense up. And just noticing, yeah, and see if you can relax those spaces. And you're going to slowly find a seat again. Like you're moving through water, right? Moving very, very slowly. You can plant your palms down on your legs. We're just going to sway side to side. Without any sounds that might naturally want to come out. Any heavy breaths. Noticing as your weight shifts from one side to the other. Releasing any tension from your low back. And seeing how fluid you can make your spinal expression. How wavy can you let your spine be? And can you even visualize your spine as it sways, as it waves side to side? Like, how often do you do that, right? How often do you actually think about what your spine looks like? So give yourself a moment to just connect to these parts of you. And then you're going to gradually slow yourself down and come back center. Find some stillness here. Take a beat, take a breath. Notice your body. Notice how you feel. Then you're going to interlace your hands on top of your head. So your elbows are out. Your head is going to stay centered. Your head's going to stay positioned just where it is. But you're going to shift your gaze over to one side. So just gently looking over to your left or over to your right. And letting the eyes rest on a point that's comfortable. Yeah, we don't want to strain the eyes and look like super far over to one side. But just letting them rest on one point in your space. Letting the rest of the body be still. And then shift your gaze over to the other side. Notice some length through the back of your neck. Shoulders relaxed. Feel the chest nice and wide. And see if you can breathe into your belly. And then bring the eyes back center. Relax the arms. Again, take a beat, take a breath. Notice how you feel. Notice body, mind. And then we are going to hum 3 times. So we're going to inhale, and on your exhale, you're just going to hum. And as we do, see if you can notice like the vibration coming from inside your body, right? Where in your body do you feel that hum? So let's go ahead and do that. You can exhale completely. And then inhale. And hum. A couple more times. Inhale. Hum. Last time. So good. Okay, if available, we're going to come to all fours. If not, you can also do this seated. We're going to do some intuitive spinal movements, starting with some cat-cow. So if you're seated, that's just going to look like this, inhaling to arch your spine, and then exhaling to round your spine. If you're coming with me, let's get on all fours, palms under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. You're going to inhale, drop your belly, arch your spine, look up. And then exhale, round the spine, bring the chin to the chest, push the floor away. Good, inhale, arch the spine, shoulders down, collarbones nice and wide. And then exhale, round the spine, wrap the shoulders, reach your middle back up. Good, inhale, arch, chin reaches forward and up. And then exhale, round, tuck your tailbone, push into the ground. Take a few more rounds on your own. Again, maybe visualizing the spine, noticing how it moves. And we still want to keep the spine nice and long here. So what does that feel like in your body? Keeping the spine long as you arch, as you round. And then you can take that into any intuitive movement. So maybe some circles, maybe you move side to side. Ask this question here. How does my body want to move? How does my body want to breathe? And let yourself just explore, let yourself play, let the expression get bigger, let the expression get smaller, which is how does my body want to move? And let that expression come through the spine, come through the body, through the limbs. And we'll explore that for a few more breaths. Maybe it wants to twist. Maybe it wants to stretch the side of the body. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Letting that spine be nice and fluid. And then start to bring yourself back. You can be seated or kneeling. We're going to do a few rounds of 4, 7, 8 breathing. So that is an inhale for 4. You're going to hold your breath for 7, and you're going to exhale for 8. If that is not available for you, you can also do 4, 4, and 4. You can inhale for 4, you can hold for 4, you can exhale for 4, or you can do whatever you have capacity for. Listen to your body, listen to your breath. Yeah? Okay, exhale completely. And then inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4. Hold 7. Out 8. 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 Last time. 4. Hold 7. Out 8. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Breathe normally. Notice your body. Notice how you feel. When you're ready, start to make your way to stand. Oh, head's cut off. Let's go with this. Okay, so again, you can do this seated, but all we're gonna do first is just stand tall. That's it. Feet hips width distance apart, planted on the ground, arms by the side, palms out. You're gonna pull your shoulders down. You're gonna puff up your chest. You're gonna activate your legs, kind of push into the ground with your feet, and just feel the strength of your body when you are just still. Like, look at this strength that you can cultivate through your stillness. Really feel that. Let yourself be in that. And from here, we're going to explore some tensing and releasing. So you can take this to whatever kind of strength level feels good for you. But we're going to inhale. At the top of the inhale, we're going to clench all of our muscles. We're going to activate all the muscles in the body. We're going to hold and squeeze. And we're going to exhale and get really, really, really soft. Yeah? Okay. We're going to do that 5 times. So inhale. Breathe all the way in. Once you get to the top of your inhale, activate your muscles, legs are active, pelvic floor is lifted, pull your belly in, make fists, squeeze your elbows in, shoulders activated, squint your eyes, your face muscles for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Get really, really soft. And then inhale, holding and squeezing at the top. Try to squeeze like every nook and cranny in your body, all the muscles working for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. Inhale. Hold and squeeze. Try to notice every muscle in your body working, your glutes, your fingers, your eyes, your ears, your jaw. And then let it go. Get softer, softer with every exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Hold and squeeze. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Notice how it feels to activate all these muscles in your body for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. And then last one. Inhale, breathe it in. Hold and squeeze. Try to notice all the little corners in your body, the big pieces, the little pieces. Notice everything. Get everything working for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. Shake it out. Whew. Okay. Now we're going to do some pushing and opening, a little boundary practice. So you're just going to bring your palms by your sides, just like as far back towards your shoulders as you can bring them. You're going to push out, extending from the shoulder. Think about using your arm muscles to push out, and then open, and then come back to the side. Yeah, so you can inhale, exhale, push, bring it around down, and then let it go. Good. Inhale up, and then exhale, push, and then open and release. Good. A few more times like that, exploring on your own, letting yourself move with your breath, really pushing, extending from the arms, and then palms open up, really feel the space around you. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Take a beat, be still, breathe, notice how your body feels. Good, and then let's do a pericardium stretch. So arms are gonna come out like a T, palms are gonna flex up like you're touching 2 walls on either side of you. You're gonna spread your fingers nice and wide and feel for almost flexing your middle finger back towards your face. You're gonna inhale into the center of your chest, and then exhale, push as if you're pushing into those 2 walls on either side of you. Good, inhale, breathe it in. Exhale, push. Keep going, following your breath. And on your exhale, we want to push and also spread the fingers wide and really kind of feel for that middle finger flexing back. Pericardium lining runs from that middle finger up your arm, across your chest, around your heart, and then down and out towards the other hand. So this is a really beautiful way to just kind of like release a lot of stagnant, maybe some anxious energy that we can hold in the chest. And take 1 more breath here. And then release. Before you move, just breathe, let your energy settle. And then you can shake out your hands. You can shake out your hips. You can shake out your arms, your legs. Good. And then we're going to do some somatic shaking. So if you are seated and shaking is not an option for you, you're just going to take your fingertips and you're going to squeeze your body. Yeah. Legs, torso, arms. If you are seated and you'd like to shake, you can still do that through the legs, through the torso, through the arms. If you are standing with me, the only part of your body that you're going to be actively moving is your knees. Yeah. So feet, hips width distance. Find your footing. Then we're going to start to lightly bounce the knees so that we feel a shake through the hips down. Hips down through the legs. Let out any sound, any breath, any expression that simply is just ready to leave your body. And if you'd like to scan your body, if that's an option for you, you can notice your hips, notice anywhere you're holding on, any tension you're holding on to, and just see if you can release it and almost watch it like drop down the body. Same thing for the muscles through the legs. Watch it all just get really soft and drop down towards the feet, down towards the ground. If you are seated, you're just going to shift to kind of shaking your torso around. If you're standing, you're going to make that bounce a little stronger. So you start to feel a natural shake come through your midsection. And if you'd like, again, you can notice anything physically that you're holding on to, any tension through the diaphragm, through the belly. Just see if you can let it relax. See if you can let all those muscles soften and just watch them like drop and ground down, 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 down. If you are seated, you can start to explore any squeezing or shaking through the arms. If you are standing, you're going to make that bounce a little stronger so that your shoulders and your arms start to just naturally move. And then same deal. If you'd like, noticing any tension through the shoulders, through the chest, anything in the arms, even the hands that you might be holding on to. And you just let it go, let it be soft, and let it ground. And then we're going to make that bounce the strongest yet, so that you feel it like through your face, just through your whole body, scanning from top to bottom, letting everything be soft, watching everything ground. And noticing if any other muscles like start to tense up again. Yeah, and can you just kind of lovingly revisit and just give them permission to relax? You can let go. Be here for a couple more breaths if you want to like really get into it. Feeling that shake through your whole body. And then very gradually, we're going to slow ourselves down until eventually we find stillness once again, right in our center. An invitation to close your eyes again if you'd like, or rest them on one point, but just be still and notice your body. Whew. Notice how you feel. Good, and we're going to close our physical practice with some body tapping. This is the Qigong practice. So you're going to bring your right fist to your left chest. Gently tap on that chest. And then come down the top of left arm. Come up the inside of the arm. Come across the chest, switch out your fists. Come down the top of the right arm. Up the inside. Both fists to the chest. Feel that sensation of the tapping. And then come down the sides of the body. The sides of the legs, down to your ankles. Up the insides, up your inner thighs. You're going to come back around to your glutes. Up to your low back. And then around to your hip flexors. Whew. Good. Release the arms. Notice your body. Notice how you feel. Take a breath. And then we're going to follow that same route, but with our palm. So right palm comes to left chest. Good. And then come down the top of the arm. Up the inside. Across your chest. Switch out your hands. Come down the top of the arm. Up the inside. Both palms to your chest. Come down the sides of the body. sides of the legs. Come up the insides of the legs, up your inner thighs, back around to your glutes, up to your low back, and then around to your hip flexors. Good. Again, release the arms, breathe, notice your body, notice how you feel. And then we're all going to find a seat again and settle in for a meditation. Take your time. So just finding a seat and settling. Once again, you can close the eyes or you can keep them softly focused on one point. And begin to reconnect to that pattern, to that emotional pattern that we brought through just before we started our movement practice. Reconnecting to that space in the body. And noticing how it feels now. What are the sensations? Have they changed at all? Any colors, shapes, textures, temperatures? And see how it feels now to meet that experience that's being held within you. Is there anything maybe that you want to say to it? Is there anything it needs from you? And can you just take a moment, if it feels okay, to offer to this part of you, I'd like to build a relationship with you. I'd like to support you. And I'd like to listen to you. And just notice how it responds. And concluding your connection with that part of you, however feels right. Starting to let the connection kind of dissolve. Or again, you can tuck it somewhere away in your body. And in your own time, in your own way, you can start to slowly bring yourself back. Put it on gallery view here. I want to see all of you. I mentioned it's so cool that you all are here. It's just so amazing to see everyone doing this work. So never doubt, never, never, never doubt that you're making a difference. By being here, you're really making a difference. I really believe that. Okay. So I know we have some time left. If anyone has any reflections, how that practice felt for them, or any questions, I think we can open the space.
There's a few questions in the Q&A. One question in particular, as Arlen is asking, how to manage self-regulation when they've been unsuccessful at it in the past. And the second part of that question was, that belly breathing is a major trigger. So how do we, what's the steps to get there?
Yeah. So very gradual. And sorry, what was that name? Arlen?
Arlen, yeah.
Maybe would Arlen be willing to come on and kind of
she's
speak to
the person has said that they would rather not be on camera. They find it.
Yeah. No problem. So in that case, I would offer very gradual pendulation practice, and maybe using a co-regulation resource such as nature or anything around them that feels somewhat comforting, right? Like a fuzzy blanket, a sturdy surface. Sometimes touching the ground can feel very grounding. Anything around them that feels comforting, that feels easy. Kind of let them focus on that for a little bit before maybe shifting back to an emotion, to something that feels uncomfortable, shifting back then to the resource, to something that feels more comfortable, more easy, and just really starting to get to know what that feels like, and then shifting back into what's a little more sticky, a little more uncomfortable. And what I would do within this kind of shifting back and forth, the pendulation, is spend more time with the resource, with what feels good, with what feels comfortable. And start to attune to that. Start to attune to what feels good. And spending very, very little time with the sensations of what feels uncomfortable. And then maybe over time, that capacity can change, that capacity can grow. And as far as the breathe, sorry, go ahead.
Yep, Arlen is sharing that this experience was more stressful than helpful. And so some of us just need to go slower, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. And Somi asks, how to uncover suppressed feelings?
Yeah, so that is very much up to the body. That is up to the body in its own time. So what I would continue to do is to regulate and resource. And it can be frustrating to trust the timing of the body, but to practice trusting the timing of the body. It can sometimes, if there is like a very kind of deep desire to reveal these emotions and to bring up what was suppressed, that desire can almost be sensed as like force, right? And so we want to instead show the body that it's possible to feel good, that it's possible to feel safe. And then once it feels okay within that, once it does feel safe in its own time, it can reveal anything else that might be there because you're ready to hold it.
Awesome. Hector's asking, is there anything such as negative or limiting emotions, or are all emotions neutral so we can process them without antagonizing?
Yeah, I think that a big part of how we do see emotions and how we do experience emotions also has to do with the story that we attach to it. We can also consider any emotion as just like a sensation that we experience in the body, right? Emotion is energy in motion, and energy in itself technically can be neutral, but because we have like these big, beautiful brains, we assign a lot of meaning to them. So I think it's a really beautiful practice to practice being neutral around what we've maybe been conditioned to feel is negative, because those conditions and the programming, they have a real effect on us, right? So it might be a little short-sighted of me to say that all emotions are neutral, right? Because the conditioning and the programming is very real. So I think if we can practice being neutral around stuff that we've been conditioned to believe is maybe negative emotion wise, that over time can start to lessen the charge and the fear of the negative experience.
Mhm. Thank you. And
Yeah.
there's another one that's upvoted. Christy asks, can you explain some of the physiological aspects of what we just did and how it resets the nervous system?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So a lot of what we just did, the shaking, the tensing and releasing. Well, actually, I'll start here. So what we just did was what we kind of walked up the ladder of the hierarchy of response according to polyvagal theory, right? So the on the low point of this hierarchy of responses are freeze response, right? So freeze is kind of like the, I think, biggest, most primal survival response that we can experience, right? Our first line of defense is like that fight or flight. If the nervous system senses that the threat is not being resolved by fighting or fleeing, then it will go into freeze. So freeze is like kind of the bottom of the ladder as far as our nervous system and our energy levels and our kind of sequence of responding. So what we did was we started with some very gentle movement to support kind of that lower place, right? So we started like with knees up against the body. We started by hugging ourselves to offer this sense of support and containment, right? And that's going to signal support to these kind of sensory neurons that are all along the body. So it can communicate to the brain like, hey, we're safe here. And then what we did was we started to open up so we can start to kind of redistribute how we're holding energy. And then we stood up, right? So it was kind of this gradual work up. And then stuff like the shaking and the tense and release is what that's going to do is like discharge a lot of the stress and stagnancy that we can hold, that we can kind of pick up during our day to day, because we are just like sponges, while also simultaneously activating sympathetic nerves within the body. So we can start to return to that state of regulation if we're feeling very active, very stressed.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm going to plug myself in really quickly so I don't,
Yep.
so my computer doesn't shut down on you all. Sorry, location change. Okay, I'm ready.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for that explanation on the polyvagal theory and how you designed the practice.
Yeah.
I think similar to some of the students had, I guess maybe I guess it makes sense. My brain was feeling quite safe, and then at the end, towards like the standing and tightening of the muscles, I had quite an emotional reaction, and I was really exhausted afterwards. So I just, yeah, it makes sense. I guess that was kind of that coming out. Is there, though, now like the shaking didn't necessarily bring or like regulate that back to a place of safety? Like, is there something to do now to kind of bring that back to a state of neutrality or safety?
Yeah, great question, and thank you so much for bringing that through. Yeah, I know there are a bunch of other questions. We could use these last few minutes for a little grounding practice to kind of get back into that settled place. It depends on how we want to use these last few minutes. Denise, any guidance?
At least one person is typing yes, please.
Okay. I'm so sorry to everyone else who has questions. Please send me a message on Instagram, and I'm happy to answer those. But yes, I think that's very important. So let's do a little closing meditation to just ground everyone. You can either be seated or you can be lying down, whatever you're feeling like your energy wants right now. Maybe there's even like a pillow nearby. Let's start to slow down your breath. Start to slow down your body. And notice like what it would feel like if you could let your cells slow down. Slowing down on a cellular level. And notice if you can let your body be a little heavier. Can you notice the surface underneath your body? And as you get heavier, it's as if you merge with this surface a little more, a little more, a little more. Noticing the crown of your head and letting that space relax. Noticing your jaw, letting it get soft. Your neck, your chest. Relaxing your shoulders. Your middle back, your low back, and your belly. Start to really let the muscles in your legs relax. Your ankles. And just notice like this almost descending sensation through your body. Letting everything from the crown of the head just drop all the way down towards the feet. And maybe there's even a color or some kind of sensation or an environment that would feel good to bring almost into your body right now. Can you sense that within your body? And breathing in a way that it just like fills your nervous system. Affirming that you are here. And reminding yourself who you are, right? Maybe your name, maybe your age, where you are. Taking a breath as you maybe offer yourself another hug or bring the knees back up into the chest. Sensing that support. Starting to take any movement that would feel good. Maybe you want to stretch out your neck. And as you start to gradually open your eyes, let your gaze rest on one point in your space and really feel your energy settle there. And then when you're ready, you can bring yourself back. Okay, I know we're a couple minutes over time. So I want to respect that. And like I said, if anyone has any further questions, please reach out to me on Instagram. And yeah, I just hope you all, I hope you all can take anything away from that. Take something away from that. And continue through knowing that you never have to be afraid of how you feel, right? You can hold all of it. You've got it. You can do it, truly.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you from the Embody Lab. Thank you from all the participants today. We want to just thank you for a beautiful, beautiful session and that beautiful landing practice as helping my nervous system to calm as well.
Thank you all so much. I'm so grateful. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you.
Bye.